Now, the recent developments in Bangladesh and the action and ill treatment of the Hindu community there has raised alarm across different parts of the world. Over the last 24 hours, the arrest of ISKCON priest Chinmoy Krishnadas led to massive outrage across different parts of the world as well, including here in India. The court there confirmed the sedition charges that have been filed against him earlier this month and ordered him to be sent to police custody. On the other hand, you have 3 Hindu temples that were attacked in Bangladesh over the last 24 hours alone. The Kali Mandir in Chattogram Hazari Gali was torched, and homes of Hindus were also torched by unruly mobs. ISKCON has expressed serious concern and condemned the recent attack on Sanatanis, calling on the government there to identify those responsible. The organization also urged the Muhammad Yunus interim government there to implement measures to promote peace and harmony. In a strong message, ISKCON advocated for the practice of religious tolerance to ensure the safety and the rights of all communities.
We, Bangladesh Hindu Buddha Christian Unity Council, condemned the arrest of Chinmoy Krishna. We demand his immediate release from the custody.
ये बहुत ही चिंता का विषय है कि एक तरह तो हम देख रहे हैं कि किस तरह जो माइनॉरिटीज़ हैं, हिंदू माइनॉरिटीज़ हैं बांग्लादेश में, उनके ऊपर में लास्ट 100 दिनों से अधिक उनके ऊपर में अत्याचार हो रहा है। चिन्मय कृष्ण दास एक पूरे माइनॉरिटीज़ मूवमेंट का वो फेस बन गए थे, और हमने ये भी देखा कि जो भी प्रोटेस्ट हुआ उनके अंडर में वो बहुत ही शांतिपूर्व ढंग से हो रहा था।
देखिए, ये बहुत गलत हुआ है और मैं समझता हूँ जिस तरह से पाकिस्तान किया हिंदुओं के साथ, और वही रवैया बांग्लादेश भी अपना रहा है और ये बहुत गलत है।
Well, let me go across to Srinjoy Chaudhary now for more on this, who's been tracking these developments very closely. Good afternoon to you, Srinjoy. Now, where does this go from here? Because the Ministry of External Affairs on our part has in fact issued a very strong condemnation over the arrest of the ISKCON seer. That was followed by a detailed rebuttal on the part of the Bangladesh government there that also ended up accusing the Indian government of misrepresenting facts in this matter. So how does this now proceed from here?
Well, the first thing that India has to do probably is to remind Bangladesh that these are their citizens. These 8% Hindus are Bangladeshis, and 8% in a big country of 175 million people, which is the equivalent of Germany and France together, is 15 million people. Now, 15 million is the population of many countries, many big countries. Now, these 15 million people are insecure and unhappy. And let's not forget.
Srinjoy, we'll try to get back in touch with you once again. We're having a problem with that line, but the developments in Bangladesh have now become a serious cause for concern, with top voices here in India also raising their voice against the persecution of Hindus in that country. Pawan Kalyan, who is of course the Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, has strongly condemned the detention of the ISKCON Bangladesh priest Chinmoy Krishnadas Brahmachari by the Bangladesh police, urging the Bangladesh government to halt the ongoing atrocities against Hindus. In a heartfelt message, Mr. Kalyan reminded the Bangladesh government of the sacrifices that have been made by the Indian Army for the country's liberation in 1971, expressing deep concern over the current persecution of Hindu communities. He further called on the United Nations and India to intervene in the matter, urging immediate action to stop the targeting of Hindu citizens there in Bangladesh.
ऑलरेडी हमारे एमएलए हमारे विरोधी दल नेता यानी शुभेंदु अधिकारी के नेतृत्व में प्रोटेस्ट कलकत्ता में कर रहे हैं। कल हमने इसमें प्रेस रिलीज निकाला और हमने इस घटना की पूरी निंदा की, और हम इस घटना की कड़ी से कड़ी निंदा करते हैं। जब से बांग्लादेश में पॉलिटिकल टर्नओवर हुआ है, पॉलिटिकल परिवर्तन हुआ है, तब से ही हिंदुओं के ऊपर एक के बाद एक अत्याचार की घटना घट रही है। चिन्मय प्रभु को इस तरीके से अरेस्ट कर लेना एक बहुत ही शर्मनाक घटना है, और मुझे लगता है कि पूरे बंगाल इसको लेकर आक्रोशित है, पूरे देश आक्रोशित है, और हम चाहते हैं कि चिन्मय प्रभु को जितना जल्दी हो सके उन्हें रिलीज किया जाए।
It's very painful to see what's happening out there, and we are being. If anything happens in Palestine, an entire ecosystem will echo their pain, whatever is happening. But when it happens in Bangladesh, no one responds. That's how.
Now, the Bharatiya Janata Party has been upping the ante against the opposition here in India. The BJP is asking as to why the opposition is only busy harping on what's been happening in Sambal in Uttar Pradesh, but has been maintaining a studied silence on the persecution of the Hindu community in Bangladesh. That's the BJP response.
आज लोग संबलपुर जाने की बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन राहुल गांधी अखिलेश यादव को बांग्लादेश नहीं दिखाई देता, जहां हिंदुओं पे अत्याचार हो रहे हैं। मैं तो तमाम हिंदुओं से कहूंगा कि प्रोटेस्ट करना चाहिए बांग्लादेश के अत्याचार के खिलाफ।
कानून आया है और एक पादरी की गिरफ्तारी हुई है, क्या कहेंगे? मांग करते हैं कि देश में ऐसे कानून आने चाहिए?
बिल्कुल, ऐसे धर्मांतरण के लिए कानून आनी चाहिए।
Well, let me go back once again to Srinjoy Chaudhary. Srinjoy, a short while ago, you were explaining to our viewers what the Indian government now ought to do after the detailed response that's come from the Bangladesh Ministry of Foreign Affairs yesterday evening.
Well, first of all, India must tell Bangladesh that, look here, these are your people. 8% of Bangladesh is really 15 million people. Now, it already 40,000 people from Bangladesh have already moved to India in these last 6 weeks or so. Now, do Indians want more and more Bangladeshis to run away to India, cross the border and come here? That's not something India is very happy with. And this is a point that has to be made. So these attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh are a problem for India, first of all. And there is a humanitarian issue. I mean, here are ordinary people. Here is a monk who hasn't done anything to be accused of sedition, of all things. Now here, you have arrested him. You have burned houses of Hindus. You have attacked temples. Now, this is not something that makes the people of India happy. Now, that is also something Bangladesh should be told. Okay, Muhammad Yunus was very kind, very gracious. He visited the temple. Now, it's a nice gesture. But on the ground, that gesture has not been looked at with great seriousness, in the sense that these attacks keep happening. And these recent attacks in Chittagong have not been a very positive thing. It is absolutely incumbent. It's very important for India to actually tell Bangladesh, a friendly country, that look here, this is not on. Because this will, apart from troubling you, will also trouble us. Does India want several million Bangladeshis to seek asylum in India? 40,000 have already fled.
Right.
And is this going to get worse and worse?
Massive implications of what's been happening in Bangladesh. Thanks for that very comprehensive and insightful perspective that you've given us, Srinjoy. We'll take a short break right now. We'll come back with a lot more lined up on the other side. Stay tuned.